Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-352-1609. That's 1-800-352-1609.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 52security.com. That's the number 52security.com. 52security.com. Go to 52security.com.
Hurt or injured in a car accident? It can be hard to take the proper legal action after a car accident, but waiting can cost you more. The law requires car accident victims to assert claims promptly. You could lose out by simply waiting. Call 800-709-4667 right now to see what your claim could be worth when handled by a skilled attorney. With a lawyer fighting and speaking up for you, you could be entitled to a big cash award. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Now it's fast and easy to connect with the legal help you need after your car accident. Call 800-709-4667. The call is free, but you need to act now before time runs out on your claim. You need a lawyer to fight for you, protect you, and get you the compensation you need and deserve. Time's wasting. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Call now.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please, call or go online right now.
You shouldn't have to pay to talk to the people closest to you, or the people who used to be. That's why Umbrella Wireless is proud to announce the new Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan. Now you'll get unlimited calls to your best buddy, your mom, or Cindy, once she realizes that you're seriously meant for each other and should stop screening your calls. Now the 30 minutes of agonizing silence where you're both afraid to hang up may drain your battery, but it won't drain your wallet. And you'll get unlimited calls just to check if she still cares enough to pick up, with no extra charges. With the Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, your phone will automatically answer calls from your ex, because maybe she finally realizes that you're the only one for her and wants to get coffee sometime. Now, after lonely nights of looking at pictures of the road trip you took together when everything was great, your misspelled texts are absolutely free. The only thing you have to pay for is the booze. The Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, because she wants you back. She just doesn't know it yet.
listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
New York State, that is. New York, New York. I love New York. I did it my way. You know, I actually heard somebody try to sing it that way once. Like, you know, what do they call that? Velagro when you do that with your voice. I think it's called Velagro or Velagro, something like. But they overdid it, and they tried to do it in this operatic type of voice, and it really, to me, it sounded terrible. I don't like that kind of vocals, if you will. But no, other people liked it. That's fine. Not I. I don't like opera anyway. I know somebody's probably going to say, well, you're uncultured, Rod. I happen to love the ballet. You know, one of my favorite ballet. Yes, it's a holiday theme, obviously, but I happen to love the Nutcracker. I really like the ballet. Ballet is beautiful. I just don't like opera. Not going to hide it. You know, people, well, you know, this is, you know, we're all, well, cultured and wealthy people go to the opera. Not me. Well, I'm not wealthy, but if I was, I wouldn't belong to, the Met and go to the opera. Just wouldn't do it. Just say, I mean, those people who like it, that's fine. I have nothing against the opera for those people who like it. I just don't. New York Assembly votes for universal health coverage. Now, folks, I told you this was coming. When they were trying to push Obamacare on us, I said, look, we already know that Barney Frank is all behind universal health care, single payer system, and that, you know, Obamacare is the first step into getting that, because they wanted a single payer system back then, but they knew that the American people wouldn't go for it. So the only way to do it was to sort of incrementally get to it. And I told you that as soon as that they got Obamacare, and when Obamacare was implemented and people were starting to utilize it, that they were going to start pushing for single payer. And lo and behold, here it is. And this is from the Washington Times. New York Assembly votes for universal coverage. Now, the New York Assembly voted 89 to 47 on Wednesday for legislation. Now, the Assembly is like the House. Voted for legislation to establish publicly funded universal health coverage in a single-payer system. All New Yorkers could enroll. Backers said it would extend coverage to the uninsured. Now, I thought Obamacare was already extending insurance to the uninsured. Isn't that what? Yeah, we're gonna. You know, everybody's gonna be insured because you gotta be. So you could enroll if you. I guess they're saying it's going to be. I don't know how it can be a single payer system if it's voluntary. Because what if you don't want to be in the single payer system? Well, all New Yorkers could enroll, and Backer said it would extend coverage to the uninsured and reduce rising costs by taking insurance companies and their cost out of the mix. Folks, I told you that was their whole goal, was to take insurance companies out of the mix, so to speak. Now, with no patient premiums, deductibles, or co-payments for hospital and doctor visits, testing, drugs, or other care, New York Health would pay providers through collectively negotiated rates. It would be funded through a progressive payroll tax. Yeah, here's the kicker. There would be no no premiums. You would pay no premiums. Oh yeah, everything's covered. No premiums though. It's free. But it's not free. So with no patient premiums, no deductibles. So no co-pays. So, unlike Obamacare where people have, some families have $4,000 or $6,000 in deductibles. There's no copay, so you wouldn't have to pull out a $20 or $20 bill or something every time you went to the hospital or the doctor. And you could get your testing and your drugs in your hospital and doctor visits all included. And the New York Health, the entity that would administer this, would pay providers through collectively negotiated rates. In other words, they would say, well, look, okay, doctor, you usually get $100 for this procedure. Well, we're only going to pay you $50. Like it or lump it. That's seriously what's going to happen. But all that is going to be funded via a progressive payroll tax, paid 80% by employers and 20% by employees. Unless you're a small business, then you're paying 100%, obviously. You're the business owner, and you have to pay the business half and your half, and your personal half. It's not even half, but you're 80%, and then you got to pay, make up for the 20% of the employee if you're the employee. Now, waivers would be sought, so federal funds now received for New Yorkers in Medicare, Medicaid, and Child Health Plus would still apply. So if you don't use, the state money, you can still use the federal money, but it's all going to be government money, which is from the taxpayer in the first place, which is still going to come from a single payer, which is still going to be government health care, which is still going to be determined whether or not you are worthy enough for, certain procedures. And obviously, the government's going to look. The only way that you can, there are only two ways to cut cost in the healthcare system. One is to reduce what it actually costs. So, in other words, if a doctor normally gets $100 for a particular procedure, well, you cut the cost by saying the maximum you're going to pay is $80. So that's a $20 reduction. You save $20. So the doctor, either they have to take it, or they have to get out of the system, or they leave the medical profession. Or you deny usage of the system, or you deny coverage. Hey, you need a hernia operation. Well, that hernia operation is going to cost like $6,000. Nope, denied. Why? Because you're 60 years old. We don't think, you at your age you should have it. Well, what if I pay for it? No, you can't pay for it. Everything's under our system now. So denied. So now the system doesn't have to pay out $6,000 because it just denied you. That's the way it's going to work, folks. And I know some people are saying, well, that's not true. Well, I told you that they were going to make a push for single payer, and I was told, no, they're not. That's not true. But lo and behold, there it is. They're shooting for single payer. And I said this back in 2009 and 2010. Employers are shifting more and more healthcare costs to workers or are dropping it entirely. The only ones who benefit are the insurance companies. Well, shouldn't the employer or the employee be the one who's responsible for their own healthcare in the first place? I think so. It's not the employer's responsibility. I don't know why it became such... so people became so enamored with this idea that somebody else should pay for something as personal as health insurance coverage. Let's face it, it's more personal than car insurance, but we don't expect our employer to pay for our car insurance. It's more personal than life insurance, but we don't expect our employer to pay for a full-blown life insurance policy, even though some companies, depending on where you are, what level in the company you are, they might include it as part of your benefits a small, policy, that pays out $5,000 or $10,000 or something. But and sometimes, depending on what position that you have.